Hello. Welcome to episode 4 of the KEEDOH podcast. Bobby, Annie. Today we're going to talk about success and what our idea of success is and what success means to us and just, things we want to do and want to accomplish or stuff like that. Yeah. Anything you want to comment off right off the bat? What did I just say?
What are you talking about? You can put that in here, Bobby. Why?
I'll spill it.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna spill that. Anyways, success. I've been feeling real weird about success recently, just because it's like, I don't know, we're living here, and it's just been on my mind.
In Brooklyn, New York.
In Brooklyn, New York. It's just the idea of like what it means to me to succeed in my life has been, I don't know if it's been like, it's not been weighing on me because I don't feel like existential despair or anything, but it's just been on my mind a lot lately.
See, I do feel existential despair.
Yeah. I don't. I feel, it's like almost, I'm like worried that I feel so calm about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, should I feel so okay with how things are going and where I'm going? Like, I almost feel like I'm overcompensating for how like okay I feel.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of that has to do with just how we were raised and where we were raised.
That's true.
Because being raised on the East Coast in New Jersey, there's such I had a part-time job when I was 14 years old. I've always been told that money is really important.
Yeah.
And you should really focus on money specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Not even happiness, not doing what you want to do, just have money. That's always been the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think because of that, I've already unsubscribed to the idea of even when I was younger, I realized that, hold on, I want to make sure I say everything right. So even when I had jobs, when I was 14, 15, 16, I didn't save my money. I would just be all right, well now I don't have to ask my parents to buy me stuff, because I wasn't poor or anything, but my parents wouldn't just buy me whatever I wanted all the time. But so I would just use my money to buy video games and buy new skateboard equipment and new film, because I was used to be really into filming and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would buy new filming equipment. I would buy new drum equipment, new sneakers, new clothes and stuff. So I never saved any of my money growing up. I just spent it on shit that I don't have now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And and then once I got older, I was fuck money, fuck things, that doesn't make me happy. So I just completely was I don't need money. I don't want money. It doesn't matter to me. So I still had jobs, but I would just kind of spend my money on dumb shit still, or I would just have money kind of, but I never had a lot of money, And then once I left college and stuff, I was okay, I'm trying to move out. I don't want to just live in my parents' house, so I need money.
Mm-hmm.
So then my focus shifted back to I do need money.
Yeah. And
now living here and pursuing music as my career and stuff, I'm in this mindset that money in society, money is freedom basically. So if I want to live free, I need money, which is kind of an oxymoron. So I don't know, that's kind of where right now, I feel I was saying this before, and I watched this Louis C.K. interview where he talks about how his comedy career felt like this albatross hanging off his neck, and it was just this burden. And that's kind of how I've been feeling lately, for a while actually. Just I feel so much pressure that I'm putting on myself to pursue my music career and to get money, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know, I'm at this weird place right now that I just don't know. So I feel like that's part of the reason why we've been talking about it so much, is because we both just like don't know.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this podcast, because we're just like, you're getting an insight into a conversation we've been having for like the past, like more specifically the past few days, but just like always, I guess. Recently. And like for me, like, I don't feel any pressure to do anything.
Yeah. Because you were raised to just enjoy your life and like go hike. And
my parents let me go to Santa Fe, New Mexico for art school, and then for a year, and then they let me go to New York for art school for 1 semester, and now they let me live here.
But you also paid for all that yourself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they definitely wouldn't have just paid for that, but they just like mentally like let me do that stuff, and they don't freak out, at least towards me, like,
because they trust you.
Yeah, they don't. My parents haven't like. They're not like, what are you doing about your art career? They're just like they like ask me about art, I do, and they make sure that I do stuff, but I don't feel pressure to prove myself to my parents that I'm an artist, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they seem to they just know that things will work out, because I'm pretty lucky and successful usually, so.
And you're smart. You're not like running away.
Yeah.
You're like exploring, you know what I mean? Like some people hop around because they're just like running away from themselves, basically. But I think you're doing it to like acquire knowledge and life experience that you can apply to your art.
Yeah, I just feel real like weird. I just feel so weird talking about this just because that movie we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I'm constantly just thinking about it. We went and saw this movie called Captain Fantastic. It just like premiered for public viewing, like, I guess this week? I don't even know.
I hadn't even
but like,
heard
it's
of it
only in
until
New
you
York
told
and LA as we're filming this right now. I don't know when it's premiering other places, but the reason we went and saw it is because it's filmed in the Pacific Northwest, and nothing is filmed in the Pacific Northwest. The closest thing is like Vancouver, Canada, which is like the Pacific Northwest, but it's not like my Pacific Northwest. Yeah. So that's like why we went and saw it.
And Viggo Mortensen.
And Viggo Mortensen's a great actor too, so I like had a feeling it'd be a good film. It would at least be decent. It wouldn't be like unbearable or bad. So we went and saw it, but it's about this family, Viggo Mortensen's family, fictional family that lives in the wilderness in the Pacific Northwest, and they just live off the grid, but like in a really beautiful way. They like hunt for their own food. And they homeschool their kids, and their kids celebrate Noam Chomsky Day. And they like know philosophies, they like understand different worldviews. And so they're not like the typical, like, it's not like the typical story of like a family living out in the wilderness where they're completely just like crazy caveman-esque. But they are like socially awkward a little bit. But the whole movie is just about like the idea of like raising a family. Because I even looked it up, and the person who wrote the story said that he was inspired by having a kid.
Yeah.
And like raising his kid to write this movie. Because I thought maybe it was like based on like someone new or like real events, but it was just the weight of like raising a kid and like what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
Because then in the movie, the family, they have to go into normal societal life and like experience it, and the kids just like don't understand why people live other ways, because the way they live to them is so beautiful and like fulfilling
and just like normal to them.
Yeah, but it's also very dangerous.
Yeah.
And so unpredictable, because living like an animal is just unpredictable and dangerous.
Yeah. So
it's just like all about like how to be happy with a family, and like the right way. Yeah, the right way to, like, trying to figure out the right way to raise a family and stuff. And that's just like, I don't know, it just really got inside my head, because like I've mentioned before, like what I wanted to do when I was a kid was be like a zoologist. Like, I wasn't a little girl who dreamed of the day I would get married. Like, I dreamed of the day I would go live in my log cabin in the woods by myself, like studying animals. Like, that's not just like, I'm not like some 20-year-old who's like enlightened and wants to go like live on a farm, you know? Like, that's something that's like deep within me that I always wanted to just like live off the grid, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but then that's kind of been quieted down because I also like art, and art is like, to be an artist, like a successful artist, you have to be a part of society. Like there's, like the movie I saw that made me feel this way is a movie that I saw because of society.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird...
Captain Fantastic, you're right.
Captain Fantastic, yeah. So it's like weird, this movie, Captain Fantastic, that is talking about like living off the grid and like living with the earth and like raising a family that way and like living like the least typical societal way possible was brought to me by society and was made with like millions of dollars, at least hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
So it's like really messing with my head because that movie makes me want to make movies that are hundreds of thousands of dollars, but also makes me want to just live on a farm in nature and raise a family on a farm and like just do art just whenever and just like instill young people with like wonderful ideas in life and have them go do that stuff for me if they choose. But so it's just like really got in my head and it's just made me feel weird. And also after we got out of that movie, we walked out into Manhattan.
Yeah.
Where there's just like, where there's like a Whole Foods and there's just like so many people and like so many cars and advertisements and I felt so sick. Like you actually felt nauseous, but I just felt like mentally just like sick. But I love living here though at the same time. Like I don't, like we were talking about this too, like we both feel kind of confused right now about what we want to do, but this is like the best place to feel that way.
Yeah, like, because we were saying like eventually we probably will end up living somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, but neither of us wanted to do that now because say we were living in like Bellingham, Washington, which is just like some small like town in like way North Washington, like it has like its own little subculture and stuff. But if we wanted, say I decided I wanted to be like an industry producer and she wanted to like produce films, like we would kind of be fucked because there's not that level of stuff going on there, you know what I mean? So like what better place to not know what you're doing than New York City? You know, like you can pretty much do whatever you want. Like any idea that you have, you can at least try, you know what I mean? Like, or not even like life pursuits, just like enjoyable things to do. New York City pretty much has everything. Anything you could want to do, you can pretty much do it in New York, or at least like the surrounding area.
Yeah.
So, and we both knew coming here that we didn't want to live in New York forever, you know, like.
There are times when we would say that we didn't even want to live in New York at all.
Yeah, like we would come to Manhattan to visit, and we'd be like, New York's cool, but like, But that's also because we spent a lot of time in Manhattan. Yeah, like we didn't really come to Brooklyn.
Our neighborhood's really nice.
Yeah, I love where we live.
Yeah, that's ideal.
Like if I had to live, like I wouldn't want to live anywhere else in any other situation in New York City besides the one that we're in. Like it's perfect. We're very blessed.
Yeah, we are.
But at the same time, we know that this is temporary, so we're just drinking it all up while we can, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because, I don't know, like, I really don't like society. Like, I don't like Western culture at all. I mean, there's things I do like, but there's mostly things I don't like. And even a lot of the things I do like is only because I'm a product of Western culture. You know what I mean? So, New York City is actually, from an outside perspective, I thought it would be way worse than it is, actually. It's actually a lot more like, it feels more liberal and like progressive than I would expect. Like, Union Square has like this farmer's market that they have all the time, and like
there's farmers markets everywhere.
Yeah, there's farmers markets everywhere, and like there's just a lot of like we were said I think we said this in the first or second podcast. Like it always smells like weed. Like I didn't know weed was decriminalized in New York City, so like just like not that that's like should be a reference point, but it's just like it's like it is in a way, like I don't know. It's a lot more like open than I would have expected. Yeah. Because it seems so like hard and like business minded, like money, like Wall Street, like, and there is that, but we don't take part in that world. You know what I mean? Like New York City's cool because there's so much different stuff, so you can kind of like make your own New York City. You can like create, like you could literally just go to work and come home every day if you wanted to, and it would be like a small town. Like you could have that experience in New York if you wanted to.
Yeah, like the neighborhood we live in is like a very communal neighborhood, because like we said, it's like where we live is like a high Hispanic population, and like when I go out in our neighborhood, I like see people that I recognize, or I'll like talk to people that I have gotten to know a little bit, or like even just going to the grocery store, like I see the same cashiers and I talk to them.
Same people on the subway in the morning.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like when I'm like getting on the subway to come back to our neighborhood, like even if I'm only a couple neighborhoods away, like I start to feel more at home because I start seeing more people that I've recognized around here, or just so like I coming from like a more communal culture, like I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like my grandpa was Hopi, so there's only really like a border from like Mexico to the U.S.
Yeah.
So like
it's like the only difference between an indigenous person from Mexico and an indigenous person from America is like an arbitrary made up border.
Yeah. So like I feel very like, because I know a lot of like Latino, Hispanic families, so I feel very like I feel like definitely at home here. Like I just feels like my home. Like it's kind of weird. I would never think of like a neighborhood in New York City feeling like home.
Me either.
But this neighborhood feels like home.
It's just because we never had been here.
Yeah, that's true.
Until we visited to check the place out, I didn't even know this place existed. You know.
Yeah, I always thought if we moved here, like my little room would feel like home.
Yeah.
But honestly, the street feels like my home.
Yeah,
like I recognize our neighbors. Like I know, like I've talked to our neighbor. Like I never thought I would talk to our neighbor.
Yeah,
you know what
everyone's
I mean?
so nice.
Yeah.
Even just like walking around the neighborhood, like people like smile and they like talk to you if you want, like if you're willing to talk. Like there's always so many people in the park, just like families just hanging out.
And at night, there's so many people there.
Yeah, and it's
amazing.
Like it's so cool. Like obviously there's people that have lived here their entire lives. Like we've only been here a couple months, but like even that dynamic, we don't feel like ostracized, or like I don't feel like an outsider. I feel like comfortable being here.
Yeah.
I don't feel like people look at me weird. I don't feel like people are like, who's this guy? Like I don't recognize him, but I see him a lot.
Yeah.
I don't get that feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I almost had like after we visited here, I was wondering if we would feel that feeling.
Yeah.
Because it is like Sunset Park. It is like their neighborhood. So you know what I mean? So I thought that maybe there would be that slight feeling of like we would be outsiders. People like look at us. But I mean, like definitely like there's like the barber shop down the street. Like I don't think they like look at us because they've been there for forever.
Yeah,
so they like are just curious because they see us all the time. But it's not like a mean look. It's not like
it's just inquisitive.
It's like who are these people?
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean that's cool that they even feel that way. That like they're curious because they just have lived here for so long.
Yeah.
Or at least know this area really well.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like success doesn't have to be like an idea that's like a future concept. Because right now I feel successful.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel extremely successful because I'm living in New York City, and like I feel like even if we were living in New York City, but we were living in a different neighborhood, I feel like I would feel more down about it. Like if we were living like in some terrible like studio apartment that was like really,
or in like a big tower or something.
That was really gross, and our landlord was really mean, and like the neighborhood was just like weird and just like too busy. I feel like I wouldn't feel as successful as I do now. But right now I feel very successful that we live here. Like I have like a career job right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have like a real job that is not like a corporate. I don't feel like a little corporate shill. Like I don't feel like when I go to work I don't feel like I'm a slave. I feel like I'm going to my job that I feel passionate about.
Mm-hmm. But that's how it should be. And
so I feel really successful. So I guess that's also why I feel weird, is because I feel really successful right now, but I don't want to be content.
Yeah, but the fact that we even have that foresight is really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is like,
because some people just get comfortable and then
they
don't do anything.
Yeah. I just feel weird because I think things are going so well. So I think that's why I feel weird.
They are though. They are like
things are going so well. I'm like, okay, I feel like I should make it better, or I need to make sure it doesn't get worse. I don't know. Things just feel really weird right now, but it's probably just because everything is so just fine. Everything is fine.
The transition from moving here was so much smoother than I expected.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel fully settled into here, I wouldn't say, but I'm fully enjoying being here.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the settling in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like stressful.
It doesn't
like,
feel, I don't feel on edge or anything.
Yeah. Like, we don't have a couch right now, but it's like...
Who cares?
That's like my biggest problem right now is we don't have a couch.
Yeah, or like the key to get into our apartment sticks
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. It's like kind of annoying to have to get into our house.
And we don't have like air conditioning.
Like in every room.
In our bedroom, yeah.
We actually do have AC though, like
Yeah.
a window unit in our living room, so it's like...
Our problems are so minuscule.
Yeah. And that just feels strange.
Yeah. I think we're just... But at the same time, we don't take that for granted at all.
That
like,
yeah, see, I feel like I'm just doing so well in life. I'm not taking things for granted.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing really well with my job. I'm really satisfied. So I think I just feel weird because, like, everything is fine. Like, I almost feel like I'm trying to find things wrong so then I can, like, feel more balanced. That's just it. I don't feel balanced.
But we've also talked about this, like, the first 2 years that we were together was, like, in a lot of ways really awful.
Yeah.
Because we weren't living together yet, so you were like half on the West Coast, half living here. Like I was like kind of don't know what I wanted to do. Like we both kind of had our own like internal struggles and external struggles. Like so like the first 2 years of our relationship, like we went through like a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And like now I feel like it's like we made it through the fire and now we're like cooling off, you know, like.
Yeah, and I feel like it was really annoying too because we were so ready to just like pursue our lives together, but like we were like, okay, like let's move to New York City, and then it was like that's so expensive, let's not do that. And it's like, okay, let's move to New Jersey. It's like, but New Jersey is awful.
New Jersey's New Jersey.
And then I was like, okay, let's move to Austin, Texas, and it's like, but neither of us know anybody there.
Yeah,
like,
or know anything about the city.
Yeah, and we're adventurous people, but we're also
not reckless.
We're not reckless, and we're very realistic, and we don't want to live like really like crazy lives. Like we're fairly normal for the artists that we are. Like I like just living in a nice house in New York City. Like I don't want to live like in someone's basement in Austin. Like even though that sounds kind of cool, that'd be cool for like a week.
It is cool, yeah.
For a week I wouldn't mind doing that, but I don't want to like start my life that way.
Yeah, it's such a commitment too.
So I feel like it was really annoying for us because we were ready to move forward and like start living our lives, just us, but like life wasn't ready for us, I guess. I don't know, but we just like, because then we were trying to move to Austin, Texas, but that didn't work out. And then that this just ended up working out at like a very low point. This ended up working out.
Yeah.
We were both like, we gotta move, we gotta do something, and then this worked out.
It was when we needed it the most. Yeah. You always, all right. That's something that I was thinking about too. Is like, anyone watching this that's like feels like they can relate to what we're going through. Like, we definitely don't have all the answers, but we felt very lost and like low and like felt a lot of pain, just like not even existentially, but just like physically and like mentally, like
just
spiritually, like
a lot of frustration.
A lot of frustration and just like lack of insight, like kind of feeling like, I mean, I'm mostly speaking for myself. Like I know some of this applies to you too. Like just that feeling of like being disconnected and like all you have to do is just keep moving forward. Just like don't give up. Don't stop. Just like keep moving forward. It could take years. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and because like us getting this apartment wasn't like we tried really hard. We just remained open to opportunities because what we really wanted to do was move to Austin, Texas, because we both like the South, like, and we both loved living in New Mexico, so we just wanted to live. We just didn't want to live in New Jersey, and we wanted to live somewhere that was like would appeal to both of our musical and artistic interests, but was like somewhere just different.
Yeah.
And Austin seemed like the perfect place, so that's what we were like set on. But then we like saw that this room was open, and we just went for it. Like it almost seemed too good to be true that this was a thing happening, and I feel like if we had, because I actually saw that this room was open several months before, but I was like, oh, like that'll never happen, like why would we do that? But then I saw it posted again and I was like, we just have to do this. we just have to move.
Yeah.
And so we just went for it, and we got it. It wasn't even like we tried that hard. We just were open. And that's like how we got it.
Yeah, and we decided we wanted to live together in early 2014, and
yeah,
it took us over 2 years for that to actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
And those 2 years were filled with confusion and just like spending so much time apart.
Yeah.
Like being in a long distance relationship right off the bat was really hard.
Yeah.
But I feel like our relationship is so strong and our foundation is so solid now because we like passed all the tests.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like we both knew from the very beginning that this was going to be something like really real and like really serious.
Something that was worth working for.
Something that was worth feeling pain for.
Yeah.
So we just like pushed through the hard times because we knew that it was right, and we never questioned it. You know what I mean? Like we never were like, this is too hard. Like we can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
That never was a
thought.
thought.
It could have been so easy for us to be like, well, we're on the opposite sides of the country.
Like maybe that's a sign.
Maybe that's a sign we shouldn't be together, and we'll just like pursue our own lives just fine. But like.
That didn't feel right.
I wasn't even like a thought that came into my head.
It's weird because us being apart felt terrible, but it like felt right.
Yeah.
Like it never felt like this isn't supposed to be happening.
Even the last time that I went home for several months, that was like that decision for me to go back home for a few months was like, we both just like, we were feeling real crazy and we both just knew that's like what had to happen.
Yeah.
Even though that is not something we wanted to happen.
Yeah.
It was just like, right.
It's like we kind of hit a brick wall, and we realized like we are a couple and we are like in a relationship, but at the end of the day we're two individuals.
Yeah, with
and
individual lives, because we didn't even like, we were living at your parents' house, so we weren't like living together.
Yeah, it was like
It was like a weird like purgatory of life.
It was definitely purgatory.
But
it felt like purgatory.
Very thankful though that.
Oh yeah.
Because it was not
externally it was fine.
Wrong idea.
Yeah, externally it was fine, but internally it was not fine. But they know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like, we're very like blessed to have that, so then we at least weren't like always separated.
Yeah.
But it still just like was annoying because it was like the step before this.
Yeah.
And that's always the worst.
Definitely.
It's darkest before the dawn.
But yeah, so I think
we should have a podcast about the story of us.
Oh, that could be.
I made Dylan cry with that story.
Who?
Dylan. Remember how Dylan?
I was pretending that I was like a viewer who doesn't know who Dylan is.
Yeah, Dylan. My friend Dylan told him how Bobby and I met and fell in love and all that, and made him cry. It was a really emotional day though anyway, so.
I told one of my friends and he literally didn't believe me.
Yeah, some of my friends are just like, they just don't even know what to say after because like sometimes
understandably so.
Sometimes when I tell my friends like how we met, they're just like, that seems weird. But then I like really dive into all the details and they're just like,
still seems weird.
I don't know. They just don't know what to say after that. They're just like, that's beautiful. Like how does that happen?
Yeah, we'll have to.
That's like a whole hour of like more of just like how we met and stuff. Because most people on the surface, like I met him. And then we moved in together. We moved into your parents' house, less than a year of knowing each other.
I mean, you were even like half living with me in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Like.
We just like.
Within a month of knowing each other, you were staying at my apartment.
And people who know us as individuals know that we don't spend time with anyone.
No.
Like I'll spend time with you for a few hours, and then I usually have to like go because I have to have my alone time. But we were like the second time that we hung out for like 12 hours.
We just talked.
And no, we didn't. We sat next to each other. We hardly talked.
We did a lot of talk. We were talking to my roommates.
We did, yeah. But like there was a lot of us just being together.
Yeah,
it was really weird.
It was weird.
And people that know us is like, that's like how does that even work?
Yeah, that's a.
Let's get
back to success. Yeah, I think something else we realized too is that we've always known this, but. Oh, it's gonna cut in a second.
No, I already did.
No, the half-hour one.
Oh, that's fine.
No, I know. Something else we realized recently, or no, we didn't realize it recently, but we've been thinking about it recently, is like, Sorry.
Yep.
Hold on. Let me just drink some water real quick.
You always burp.
Sorry. Neither of us are materialistic people at all. Like we don't feel like if we don't have a lot of money and a lot of stuff that we're like not doing well or something.
Yeah,
like,
we always feel like we have too much stuff.
Yeah, like even right now we have way less stuff than the average person, but I still feel like I have too much stuff.
Yeah.
So like our idea of success has never been like a big mansion and like a bunch of nice cars and like really nice clothes and like a nice beautiful like kitchen. Like that's never been like our idea of success ever. So like our idea of a perfect like life is just like a really modest house, like small,
like a little farmhouse
with like more property than anything. Like
yeah.
If I'm gonna spend money on stuff, I'd rather have like property than like a giant house. But not even that. Like even if we were millionaires, we would spend our money on experiences and
traveling.
not on stuff.
And our family.
Yeah, we would like go to concerts. I mean, concerts don't cost that much money, but we would like go do
experience
things.
More stuff.
We would travel the world. We would go to other countries. We would
yeah.
visit other places for like extended periods of time.
Yeah.
We would spend our money on living life instead of keeping us trapped in a place. Because I've seen that happens to a lot of people. Like they spend all their money on stuff so that they just never leave their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but like, so like in order for us to, alright, so even if we don't have millions of dollars, like, in order for us to achieve what we want to achieve, like, thing-wise, that's not going to be hard at all.
No,
like,
we could do that in like a year.
We could do that, I don't know about a year, but
I could do it in like a year.
I don't know. I don't think that's realistic, but like, it won't be hard is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it won't be hard.
No.
So like, even if for whatever reason everything in our life fails, it'll still be pretty close to what we want anyway, you know? Because I would rather like have a bunch of money in the bank to like do stuff with instead of just like, all right, I have this much money now, so now I can get this nice of stuff. You know what I mean? And just like, I don't know. I think my idea of wealth and success is being able to do whatever I want whenever I want. Like, I don't want to have to get up at 8 a.m. or like 7 a.m. every weekday to go to a job to make money. That doesn't seem like success to me. That seems like failure. Like if I'm working a full-time job when I'm 35, that's failure to me. Because I'm not doing what I want to do.
I just can't do that. There's no way. If I'm doing that, I'm gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
so
because
I can't do that.
Humans aren't meant to do that. I mean, I don't know.
That's why I want to make. That's why I want us to make a lot of money, so our parents don't have to do that.
Yeah, true.
Because like our parents, all of our parents do that. Like
all
of parents do that. Well, I just mean like both your mom and dad and my mom and dad have to work like normal jobs. So like, I don't know. Like I would like to be able to make it so our parents don't have to do that. Like that's like why my parents say they had kids. So one day they won't have to work. So hopefully I can do that for them. You know what I mean? Like. What?
No, I just nodded.
Yeah. But yeah, because I don't think people shouldn't have to do that for their whole life.
Hell no. People shouldn't have to do... Alright. Realistically, everybody should be able to do whatever they want as long as they're not hurting other people.
Yeah.
Like, that's how life should be to me. Like, nobody should ever have to... Alright, aside from, like, life tragedy, you know what I mean? You can't avoid that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's real. But, like, you shouldn't have to spend your days working for somebody else that you don't like and that you don't want to work for. Like, even if you have like a normal job, like an office job, but you like your boss, you like your employees, you like the job, then that's what you should be doing. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. But like, there's so many people that just get jobs because of societal pressure that they hate just so that they can have like a certain amount of money so they can feel like they're accomplishing stuff because everything is just numbers. Like, it's not... Success isn't measured by like mental well-being and happiness and like fulfillment of life. It's measured by like a number on a screen and like how much debt you're in. People are literally impressed by how much debt you're in. Like if you're 25 and you have a nice car that you can't afford and a nice house that you can't afford and a job that you hate, people are impressed by that. And like $60,000 in student loan debt. People are like, wow, you're doing well for yourself. You have a degree, you have a nice car, you have a nice house. Like, yeah, but you aren't actually, none of that stuff is actually yours. You're just in debt to society. And people are like impressed by that.
Yeah.
And like, I just can never do that. That sounds like so dumb. Like, that's the stupidest thing in the world. Because like, literally your house could catch on fire and your car could fucking blow up and then you have nothing. You have negative nothing.
Yeah.
and people are like happy about having negative nothing.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. You're all, no. I'm half joking.
Yeah.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
actually.
That movie really messed with my head. Like, I just want to live on a farm. Cause like I have family who have a farm and like, they just live a really happy life. You know what I mean? Like we have different like world views and stuff, but they're very happy people, and I respect that definitely. Like they make a life, like they don't, and the thing is that they have other interests besides just farming, you know what I mean? And I think that's really interesting and fascinating, and it's nice that I can go visit that, but I like want that for myself almost in some ways.
Yeah. I think what we've also come to realize is that our happiness is like somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, balance, definitely. I there's like after the movie and like after just like overthinking things, like part of me does want to just go live like in solitude in the mountains, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like, cause I hate society. I feel the same way as Bobby, like, and how crazy he gets with like hating people and society and stuff. Well, not people, but society.
No, people
but I
too.
usually just like push it down so that I'm just like, I know I feel this way, but I just gotta get through the day.
Yeah.
But after the movie, I'm just like, yeah, I hate all this stuff. I hate my things. I want to get rid of all my clothes, and I just want to make my own clothes. I want to make my own food, and I want to make my own house, and I just want to go live and not have to do anything for anyone except for myself and my family. But then at the same time, like, that's ideal, but that's not real. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not real in the world that we live in.
Exactly.
It's real like 600 years ago.
Yeah. And
I mean, even it doesn't matter.
I mean, and you can do that, but there are some things like I do want to make movies, you know,
Yeah.
and I do want to have some contribution to society, and the only way to do that is to be a part of it. So
Yeah.
I have to balance those things out, balance those like radical ideas within myself out. So it's just hard because I get so hyper focused on ideas, so that I'm just like, I want to just like not like adhere to society at all and just go full force into that. But then like in a couple weeks I'll be like, I'm gonna go out like in society and enjoy it. I'm gonna go buy new clothes and enjoy that and do all that dumb stuff. So I have to balance it out in some ways.
There are stresses that society causes that living in the wilderness you wouldn't have. But then there's also stresses living in the wilderness causes that living in society doesn't have.
Yeah.
Like if you were just living in the wilderness, like you'd have to think about like, all right, like if I don't get my own food, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Like if I don't get my own fresh water, I'm gonna die. Like if I don't make sure my shelter is stable, I'm gonna die. Like I think those are stresses that I don't want in my life.
Yeah, like we just said, like right now our stresses are we we need a new couch. We need to make sure we can get into our house with a key, but that like usually works. And
I could use some more money. Like
yeah, but you're making money though.
I'm basically just living month to month, which is like I'm okay with that, but that's not a sustainable way to live.
But still, like, in this moment, like in this moment, like that's my stress. I'm just kidding. In this moment, we have like no real stress.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We have like made up stress.
Yeah.
Like I don't need a couch. Like I don't actually need one. It would just be nice to have one. So any stresses I have right now are just made up.
Yeah.
So But if we were living like in the wild right now, like we would have actual real life stresses.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we need food, we need to stay warm or cool down.
Yeah.
Like we would have like actual like life stresses, not just like made up things that we're worrying about.
Yeah.
So that's good to keep that in perspective, because like I haven't been stressed out about a couch, but like if for some reason like we were to feel like stressed about things that are going on right now, it's like, well, those aren't actually real. They're made up, so it's not really a big
Definitely.
deal.
Yeah, like I said before, we're very blessed right now.
Yeah.
And we're definitely not taking it for granted.
Yeah. Things just feel, I don't know, I just feel really weird right now, but I think it is just because everything's just like kind of working out. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, I think we're good right now. It's nice.
The only thing I have to do is just make more art. I have this, like, I think the only real stress I have is just, because there's so many things I like to do, I have to figure out the timing in which I can do all those things. Because there'll be weeks where I don't do, like, a certain thing I like to do, like painting. I haven't painted in so long. Like, not counting just, like, when I'm painting while babysitting. But, like, and it's not because I don't want to, it's just because I've just been doing other things, or like I haven't really been thinking about art as much, and I haven't like edited videos in a really long time, you know what I mean, besides this podcast. So like I have to like organize just my own like internal like artisticness.
You know what's funny though? Even you're like, I haven't painted in a long time, except for when I paint with the kids. And it's like, I haven't edited in a long time, except for this podcast.
Yeah,
so it's like, you're still doing both
yeah,
of
it's
those
just
things.
like not as much as I
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
So it's like things are so fine right now. They're
Yeah.
so fine, so fine.
Yeah, so basically, I think a good way to sum this up is we are successful for today. Like, today, we're successful. But, like, I don't want to do this in a year.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the exact same position a year from now.
Yeah.
So it's good to think forward, but it's also more important to live in the now.
Yeah.
And understand that what we're doing right now is exactly right for this moment.
Yeah, like I said last night, I don't want my content to turn into contempt.
Yeah. Because comfort kills creativity. Comfort is the biggest killer of creativity, I think. The more comfortable you are, the less creative you're going to feel, because you don't have anything to say. You know what I mean? So I think like we are at a level of comfort that's good, but I think at the same time, like if we were to just live in this comfort, we would just like wither away. Like we would like, it wouldn't.
We were just settling too much.
Yeah, we wouldn't enjoy our lives doing this for the years to come.
Yeah, I feel like right now we're like above ground, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Just like dancing above ground. But so easily we could just like fall into the dirt and just like be comfortable and like underneath the cool dirt.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I don't want that. I want to blossom and grow into a beautiful flower.
Exactly, me too.
Well, yeah. Anything else?
Nope. I think I've pretty much said everything.
Yeah. Like if people have anything that they, because we do have like a decent amount of viewers, like a surprising amount, I think, for me.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this. many
Even
people
getting
to watch it.
100 views on our first podcast,
I was
surprised.
that,
Yeah.
So if any of you out there like have anything that you want to ask us that we could answer on here, or anything that you want to hear us talk about.
It's like ideas for topics.
Yeah, because we talk the best when we have like a specific thing to talk about. Otherwise, we'll just ramble on and on more so
About
than
nothing,
we do now.
yeah.
And it doesn't really say anything. So
There's no overarching idea.
yeah. So if you have anything you want us to talk about, like definitely let us know.
Yeah, you can either leave a comment on this video, you can message us on Instagram or Twitter. Sorry, the video cut off.
I didn't empty the card. It's my bad.
But we're just wrapping it up anyway. So
Yeah.
contact.keedoh@gmail.com. Keedoh is KEEDOH. If you want to email us,
Or just comment on the YouTube video.
Yeah, that's probably the easiest.
Either way.
I mean, we don't.
If you want it to be more private.
Yeah, there's like 2 comments on our videos now.
Or
so.
just like text message us, because most people watching this probably have our numbers.
Yeah, definitely.
Or Facebook or whatever.
Twitter or anything.
Yeah.
Even our personal Twitters, like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
just if you're watching this at this point, you know how to get in contact with us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just let us know if you want us to like talk about something. If there's anything you want to know about us, because I know that there's people who watch this that don't know you very well or don't know me very well. So if there's something that you're like curious about, either one of us or just the both of us, message us, let us know.
Yeah, and please don't hesitate, because one of the main reasons we're doing this podcast in the first place is to stay in contact with our people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because we're not very good at that for whatever reason, just like individually talking to everybody all the time, and I feel like more so for you just know so many people all over the place, so it's hard.
Right now I have to message 3 people back.
Yeah, so like this is just a good outlet for us and a good way for people to keep up with us. So yeah, just definitely don't hesitate to hit us up, and we'll respond. Yes,
we will. This is the easiest way for us to respond to mass amounts of people. So
yeah. Mass.
All
10 people that I know.
You know more than 10 people.
No. I really don't though. Like.
I mean, you do. You're just being negative.
No, I wouldn't want to know more than 10 people.
I mean, what you do.
All right. See ya.
See ya.